Lost Joe B. We lost Joe B.
I am. He's coming.
I found you, Joe B.
You found me.
I found you.
I'm here. I've been located.
Yeah.
I've been located.
Yes.
Be you and spoken and heard. Please clap if you are sitting next to someone beautiful. Bear in mind, even if you are sitting by yourself, you always got your shadow, so you're never without a reason to clap, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for my co-host, Lost in Thoughts, and the ultra cool Ernie B. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Give it up for our venue, Kickbook Coffee. Your barista for the evening will be none other than man, myth, and mother trucking legend. Give it up for the Dynamo. And now Mike's gonna say some stuff.
Yes. Dan, what are the drink specials tonight again?
They are. They're probably the Marmosa.
The Marmosa, that's an animal, and we don't serve animals here. I mean, if an animal came and asked for a beverage, we won't judge you. You can have some of our food and ale, but as long as you're gonna be responsible and not drink too much before you drive home, little Marmosa creature. But we won't serve you animals as a mean of trade.
What's a Marmosa?
We won't allow you to purchase animals here unless it's sanctioned. And I don't know if the Marmosa is an endangered species, so
Sounds like somebody's last name.
We won't jeopardize
like Julio Marmosa or
something. We want to.
That sounds like a wrestler, like a boxer.
In the red trunks, weighing in at 137 pounds.
We want to let you know that no Marmosas were harmed in the making of this monologue.
That was you that I saw shooting mimosas outside?
What?
You hypocrite. You liar.
You know what?
In the red corner, weighing in at 127 pounds.
I was going to say, I know you ain't talking about me. That's one leg.
Julio Marmosa.
Yeah. Woo!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hurry up and get.
So we got mimosas and Bloody Mary. Here we go. Bloody Mary and what's the third drink, Danimal?
Summer Hills.
Summer Hills.
Summer
All for $3. Makes me feel fine.
All right, Joe.
And you can have it for $3. Yeah.
Ooh.
How about 6:15, dispelling the myth that all black men can sing?
No.
You're practically seducing the mic, Joe.
It's all a matter of perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have something to say, play, do, sing, whatever, in keeping with the tradition, quote unquote, of speaking your mind, we have the air, we have the opportunity. Please approach myself, Mr. Lost in Thought, who is shoulder ramming me, and Ernie B, who will only tell you in a very not so kind way to.
Don't bother me.
He means that. He means that.
I have enough to do back here.
He will taser you with his eyes. He will.
Ooh.
He will.
That's a terrible power to have.
That is a terrible power to have. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this show started, and I can think of no other way to do it but to summon all the cosmic energies that come together for you, the people, to combine the man, the myth, the legend, the wearer of many hats, the person of yellow. Give it up for Tom O'Joy!
As I am to public spitting, it is so nice to see human beings. By that I mean every person in this room, you know why you got heartbeat, you got a pulse beat, you got a heartbeat, wanting to join in. You say, watch the TV, but the TV's so empty. I watch the movie, but the movie is over. Live entertainment. freedom for expression doesn't have a price tag except participation when they call your name. My ears are listening to the things you've got to say. Don't need to wait too long. This is a very brief haiku, half-breath song. And your name will be up here soon. My ears be listening to dispel the gloom. They'll be watching on YouTube. They'll be watching you on the Facebook. Much better to be alive. You share your dreams right here tonight, and if you feel so brave, come on up now. We've got this PA and we want your voice to express your own individual choice. No one else can do for you sharing your own dreams of you. Who else will share them but you? Who else will do it but you? And you and every single human being in this room. There ain't no one else at all who can draw your view on their eyes wall, and your ears, your voice are the only ones that can articulate your individual choice. So come on now, don't just sit there listening to someone else. Your time has come. Now you hear me, and now I'm gone.
Give it up for Tom Moon, Bogdan, and Invoice Medusa or Inverse Medusa? And Inverse Medusa.
Let's do it.
Yes. And in fact, coming right up next to our stage, are we getting this right?
Well, that freaked me out.
What did?
That-
For some reason, it made me think of The Ring.
The Ring?
Yes.
What
With all the snow. Yes, with all the snow.
Oh. Snow doesn't actually make a sound. Well, it does. It's like when there's no wind and it's just falling, it sounds
Oh
like...
yeah, it does.
It sounds like a pillow, like...
It's the
Our
fabric.
pillows that make sense.
It's the fabric of our lives.
The touch, the feel of cotton, fabric of our lives.
And with that said, coming up next, we have Inverse Medusa.
Oh shit! I forgot about that channel. That channel's a little funky. I think it's still, but probably double check it.
By the way, I was not trained for this.
Apparently you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
Motherfucker, mother little bit. Good listen to themselves, you know? Yeah.
Alrighty, so this shit is steaming new. In fact, you can smell it if you have a cold. You know, it's that new shit smell.
That's pretty punchy.
Yeah, pretty punchy. Yeah, pretty punchy new shit. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause we said I might have forgotten a couple lyrics. So, how's the list looking tonight? Are we good for like one more, or is it good? Is that it?
We're all good.
We're all good? Okay. Oh, uno más? Uno más or no? One more. We know one.
He wants to know if he can play one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
That's I had to translate.
We can do Strange Boy and
Subtitles.
Alright, we're gonna follow the new shit up with some old shit.
Oh shit.
So old you can't smell it anymore. That's pretty old, yeah. It's more like a fungal, kind of like dirt. 1, 2, 3. I left home last night, couldn't have been that long. Tried to turn the door knob, but the door was locked. Just to save us all. to be done. The creatures from there was a rather long range. I want you, strange boy. I want you, strange boy. Looked into the mirror and I saw a pale white ghost.
Give it up for Inverse Medusa!
They're so inverse, man, aren't they? Like totally inside out. Totally.
Snake with people heads.
Say what's the
Snake with people heads, what?
Snake with people heads, man.
Snake with people heads.
inverse Medusa? Get it?
Oh, okay. That took off for me to get. I was like, what does it mean?
Hey, what's? Oh, wait, is it doing?
Not.
What's the network password here? I thought it was Bruce Lee.
No, it changed.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know. Something super ninjas or something.
It's Great Coffee, Cool Ninjas, all one word.
Great Coffee, Cool Ninjas. Can they make it any longer?
I don't know. If you ask Mike to say it, it'll sound like a much shorter word.
Great Coffee.
Great Coffee, Cool Ninjas.
Okay.
You talk in zip files. What are you saying?
Great
Well, who's
coffee.
next?
Who is next? Indeed, we have two artists coming up next. One of them has been here a very, very long while, and as you can see, she leaves her mark everywhere. So, coming up next, we have Magic Jack. What? What were you saying?
I didn't kiss you.
Who's next?
Are you jealous?
I didn't kiss you.
Do you want to?
They messed me up on the password here.
I'll get the other cheap later.
So coming up next, we have Magic Jack and Waniga.
We're gonna co-read. Testing.
Just do this number. Just turn like this. Short.
Oh, okay, just a short.
The whole.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. All right. I is a college student. All right.
My country, 'tis of thee, has given me such liberty.
My country, 'tis in my heart, a place to get a brand new start.
Born and bred, her free air, never having much need to care.
From foreign shores, I came anew, a world of blessings, so many have come true.
Surely a place of possibilities abound. I found new starts in every town.
I miss my home and family, yet my new threads grow here surely.
I cherish this land and guard her dearly. Evils that would damage her nearly.
This is a place of song and joy, where I can work and dance and eat merrily.
Let's be thankful, Earth's people all. We are truly blessed where God calls. What this country has given me is the land of my birth, the land where I grew, where all of my potentialities came true.
What this country has given me is freedom to become whatever I want to be.
The most influential American for me was John F. Kennedy. His passing yesterday, November 20th, 1963. I identified with John Kennedy. He was Irish. He came from a large family. He was Catholic. And he was a young president, vibrant, and taken away from us in his prime.
the most influential American for me are my parents. They are now American citizens a few years back. So we're Texans, and I just admire their determination. My dad came here with $20 and he was poor, and he had 5 children, and that was always his greatest thing, to take care of us. And I admire someone like that, and my mom was always by his side.
What I would like to see for the future of the United States is the rise of the working class and the middle class. I'm tired of this rich-poor scenario, with the rest of us wondering what the hell's going on.
What I would like to see for the future of U.S. is less ignorance and more freedom.
Amen.
Good for Juanega and Magic Jack. Inspiring with red, white, and blue.
Okay, great coffee,
Cool ninjas.
cool ninjas. Okay.
Great coffee, cool ninjas. I might actually remember that this time around. Well, me and Ernie B said it like in unison, so it's in here now for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't like it. It's insisting to use the old one.
Well, no, clear it out.
I did.
Clear it out. Get your power cycle, the laptop.
See,
You turn it all the way off.
I threw it against the wall and put it back together.
I didn't hear no noise.
I'm quick.
You didn't do the thing.
I feel like we're like in a paid advertisement for tech support, though. Has this ever happened to you?
Remember that commercial? Those of you who are old enough, used to be a commercial in the '70s on TV about It was an old man talking. When I first came to town, I had 2 pairs of socks.
No.
And I don't know what the commercial was about, but he was a millionaire now. And that was that was the basis of the commercial. I don't know what it was. I remember it when I was a kid.
Does he still have 2 pairs of socks?
When he came, when he got to Dallas. When I came to Dallas, I had maybe that was Ross Perot. Maybe I'm thinking about. I had 2 pairs of socks.
He still has them.
Yeah, he still has it. They still work, man.
Thin socks.
They're thin, but they still work. No holes.
Damn, those socks hold nice. Okay, so coming up next to our stage, it's actually one of our more recent voices. Recent voices?
Recent shit.
Recent people.
What?
Stuff.
.com.
So coming up next, we have Roy.
Howdy. Okay, this one here I wrote it about 3 years ago, but this is its first public reading. It's kind of, I guess you say, spent the past 3 years in the colon. Okay. Now, we can do this 2 ways. Either I can just read it straight, or y'all can participate. What do y'all want to do? Okay. I'm going to give you a line, and you'll say that, and then I'll say a line, and we'll option off. Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're alive, and the Indians are dead.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We killed man, woman, and kid.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Take scalps for the bounty.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Sell survivors into slavery.
Happy Thanksgiving.
With blood and guts asunder,
Happy Thanksgiving.
we feast upon the plunder.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So gather around and bow your head.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Praise the Lord, we're alive and the Indians are dead.
Happy Thanksgiving. I hope that was the satire.
Actually, no, that's actually more historically correct than the correct statement.
That was Roy. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy.
Joy.
Wasn't that from Ren and Snippy?
No, that was from South Park. What they did was from Ren
I could
and
have
Stimpy.
sworn though.
That was from Ren and Stimpy. What I was doing was from South Park. where they took all the religion and everything out of Christmas.
No, that happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy.
No, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, I was doing from South Park. They took all the religion and they took the star off the tree. They couldn't offend anyone, and they had to do away with the Christmas music. So it turned into happy, 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 real monotone.
It sounds so happy.
Cool. Wait. Great coffee, cool ninjas. No spaces, no caps.
All one word.
We can print it out for you.
You might have to.
Go print it out.
Put it in Braille too.
Did you turn the laptop all the way off and on?
No, you know what? I'm gonna forget this network and let it find it again.
Exactly. That's what I mean. The thing. You gotta do the thing.
You echo
Yeah, you
Do that. Do what Joji B says.
See, no, okay.
Do this
You
thing.
almost caught it.
transfer it
Do
through
this
sonar.
thing.
It's like the little computer on the bottom, the little light goes back and forth like it's connecting, and then it spits it back out.
That's what it's talking about.
There it goes again. There it goes again.
For any
Acquiring network address.
Don't have nice good stuff.
for anything to work, you have to do Joe B's thing. Okay, so coming up next. No one caught that.
I
We.
didn't want to catch it.
No, we just don't want to catch it.
I didn't want to catch it.
So coming up next, we have, you heard him earlier, now hear him as a solo artist. And he's so magical. Coming up next, we have Magic Jack.
Are we having a good time? Yeah, Johnny says, yeah, we are. When I came in tonight, there was no one here but the staff.
I know, right?
I was starting to wonder if we were going to have something happen here tonight, but it looks like we are.
Was that a new pickup?
Same old one. Got a new song this week. Brand new. If you need a place to hide away, you know what to say. Need a place to run away. All you gotta do, say on your way, on your way. On your way, on your way. On your way, on your way. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. Rest your heart, rest your way home. Take all the time you need, take all the time you want. Rest your heart, rest your weary heart. It's gonna be just fine, it's gonna be alright. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Loudest clappers ever.
Give it up for Magic Jack. See? Gotta look at it. Pretty soon, everyone's gonna be a loud clapper, Joe. You're next.
I don't want to be a loud clapper too.
It's like invasion of the body church.
What?
It's like invasion of the body snatchers. You know what they whole song.
1, 2, 3, clap as loud as you can.
See? My supporters.
Let me tell you how awesome that was, because just like you, all of them were off beat.
Really?
It was like kind of single-handed. It was weird.
What was that bit that some comedian did? Okay, you know, all black people in the house. Let me hear it now. I'm clapping on 2 and 4. And all the white people are clapping on 1 and 3. Like, no, that's not. You're doing it wrong.
I usually lose rhythm when I don't get recertified.
Recertified with what?
Shut up, Mike.
I really want to know. What are you recertified with?
Nothing, Mike.
Nothing.
Why are you being recertified?
Who's next, Michael?
I'm still not having any success here.
Well, coming up, what do you mean recertified? Okay, so coming up next. You know him.
You killed Joe.
You love him. He's almost dying. And in fact, he's walking out the fucking door. God, Joe, thanks.
I'm back in the room now.
Okay, so coming up next. If he can catch his breath.
I just got it. I found it. It was in my pocket.
Wandering around on set.
It's been possessed. It's been certified. Coming up next, we have Element 615.
Yeah, jump back and kiss myself.
No. I don't want to jump back and kiss myself.
I'll take a few steps backwards.
If I miss, it's awkward. Y'all won't forget it. It's like that. It's like that. Y'all give it up for my cause. Give it up for my friend Winston, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
So it's great coffee. I mean,
It's all
Great
one word.
coffee.
Great coffee, cool ninjas.
Cool ninjas.
what the hell?
One word. The new Wi-Fi.
I think the new Wi-Fi password. Did they get a new router or something back there?
I think so, yeah.
Cool ninjas.
Mm-hmm. And what you do is you enter it in, and even if it doesn't work, you forget it, then enter it in, and then power it off, and then power it back on.
It's just too much to deal with.
It's a lot right
You
now.
know, I'm already on.
It's a lot right now. Okay, so really old shit.
Really old shit.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Ninjas with a J.
Ninjas with the J.
Ninjas Flex.
Yeah.
Jubilee one.
Hoping my arms grow back. Knowing that not one of my steers have ever been crystal. Wondering if real love is something you have to be genetically predispositioned to receive while I wait for someone with arms as long as mine. Feeling like an echo with nowhere to return to. Wishing I'd feel something the next time someone touched me. Feeling the tether tighten and fray. Looking for a back road to sanity. Wishing I could make my insecurities feel bad enough about themselves to leave and maybe charge my demons some rent. Having an affair with self-hatred, with love up late by the phone, alone at home. Refusing to admit that I need, afraid to cut myself for fear I will find out I don't bleed. Going to sleep wondering why I did, waking up wondering if I even should have. It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm sweating with a thermostat on 60, trying to get a poem out of me. I feel like my soul is on empty. I've got $6 in my pocket. It's 15 miles to the nearest gas station, and everybody in the car wants the AC on. And all I want to do aside from reaching you is live from birth to death, from breath to breath, with nothing more than my children and all the love my Lord has left while I ignore his answers. I trust only in my inability to do so. I know that my children are my heroes for more than just my blood. They are the oxygen within it, blurring the lines between friends and family, knowing that real hunger is a blessing, listening to music to avoid a cacophony of silence, refinancing my faith and saving to get my pride out of the pawn shop, wondering if it's symbolic that I'm O positive and living my life like a 40-year-old unfinished poem is a little bit of what it's like to be me. And this is not the part where I ask you for help. And this is not the part where I tell you it gets better, because it does not. This is where I tell you that if you're anything like me, that no, it's not just you. This is where I tell you that no, the walls will not come down, though at times the foundation breaks and the floor gives way. This is where I tell you the truth. That if you're anything like me, that you've been sitting in the dark, cold and alone, and even if no one comes for you, that's fine. That's all right. You can find your own way home. Clap your hands, so beautiful. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, I am currently in my third year as director for the 23rd Austin International Poetry Festival. For those of you who have never been, number one, forgive yourself because it's awesome. Number two, forgive yourself by going to AIPF.org and check out we have a brand new website. We are going to have, basically what the festival is it's at least 60 to 70 different events going on over the course of 4 days in various locations throughout the city, one of which you are sitting in right now. Please give it up for Kickbutt Coffee, ladies and gentlemen. You basically register for the festival and you'll be able to, we have student discounts, veteran discounts, and senior citizens discounts, but basically when you pay for the festival, you get a chance to participate in any of the events, to include any of the slams or the registered readings. You get a chance to enter to be a part of the anthology. And for those of you who are familiar with the work, in case you're not, welcome to Planet Earth. But this year, poet, educator, activist, talk show host, and everything else she hasn't done yet, Nikki Giovanni will be featuring or be reading at next year's Austin International Poetry Festival. For those of you who haven't heard this woman speak or read any of her work, she's amazing, she's brilliant, and she's included in the registration. Ernie's actually very happy about that. It's not because his Wi-Fi is working.
I was forgetting the second E at the end of coffee.
See?
Human error.
See? Now, if you, like I said, if you pay the $55 or less with a discount if it applies to you, then you get to see Nikki as included. It's inclusive, like going to go overseas on vacations with the trips, with the fruity drinks. But we do have separate prices if you're just going to be in town for that day and just want to see Nikki. If you have any questions, I have flyers. If you don't have any questions, take a flyer anyway, because I don't want them. I'm just playing. AIPF.org, or just look us up on Facebook. And I am going to announce the next person coming to the stage. I believe we have a new voice. This evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for Tammy, please.
I have a poem. I didn't prepare for a poem. That was my main reason, but here's the poem. Love is all on fire, but yet is ever freezing. Love is ever true, but yet is ever lying. Love does dote and liking, but yet is mad and loathing. Love indeed is anything, but yet indeed is nothing. Okay, that's not my main point. Actually, what I'm here for is I work with a nonpartisan nonprofit group. We're called the Democracy Project. We bring public issues to vote here in our community. What we're working now is getting the technology on the billboards on the highways upgraded for the Amber Alert service alert system. That way, if somebody in our community does go missing, there's information available, such as pictures. It's not so much whether you agree with it or not, it's more that we get it on the ballot, that way the community can decide. And what I'm doing is I'm circulating a petition for anybody to sign, and if you're not a registered voter, I can register you at this time as well. Okay, I'm so embarrassed, I'm so red, I have to get off the stage.
Anybody like
It's
to
the lighting.
me? I'm right here.
Give it up one more time for Bonnie, ladies and gentlemen, please. Not Bonnie, give it up one more time for Tammy, ladies and gentlemen. I've transported myself into the future and inadvertently told the next performer that they were next. Stop interrupting me. I'm saying important stuff for the world to save it. Give it up for Tammy one more time, ladies and gentlemen.
So you know what my problem was over here?
What?
I had an ESO problem.
Yeah, ESO problem?
ESO.
ESO.
Equipment superior to operator.
Wow.
That's an ESO problem.
ESO problem.
Good coffee, cool ninja.
Good coffee, cool ninja.
I was forgetting the second E on coffee. I thought I was messing up Ninja. You're out here. We'll see you, Bogdan. Thanks for coming.
See you, Bogdan.
Always enjoy hearing you playing.
And what were you going to say, Michael?
That's it. I wanted to pass
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Oh,
As many times as I said the password on the
we just
microphone,
did it all over the time. All over the time. If there was only one way to defuse the bomb, the rest of us could have saved the world. Thank you, Michael. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for
So
that.
how is it in the afterlife?
Huh?
How is it in the afterlife?
I'll tell you later. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the next performer coming up to the stage. Make some noise for Bonnie.
My Saturday and Sunday morning sleep is always disturbed by a squirrel. She sits in the pecan tree on a branch directly above my porch. This is her favorite tree in the world. She sits there, throwing pecans from the branch onto my roof. They tumble neatly down the roof, making a terrible racket, landing safely at the base of the tree. Once she is satisfied with her harvest, she makes her way down the tree, onto the roof, then the porch, further disturbing me, now with my coffee, the horror of being accosted by tiny woodland creatures before I'm even fully dressed. And finally, the ground below. Here, she pauses for a dirt bath. Everyone enjoys a warm bath. Then proceeds to breakfast. I'm happy for her, and jealous. She does not toil to further the profits of man. She wakes up, shakes loose a few pecans, and has a dirt bath. I spend an hour brushing my teeth, showering, dressing, putting on makeup, drying my hair. Don't judge me for doing that out the window at 80 miles an hour. It works for me. Then I'm off to work where no matter how many compliments I receive, I never feel good enough to, and always feel that I'm wasting my life for money, but never for enough money to make up for the life that's being wasted. She begins, conducts, and ends her day as she pleases. I shall have to find a way to do the same for myself.
Bonnie, one more time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and coming up next to the stage, this cat featured here before and gave us a great show. And
Ingrid.
One might even say, whoa. One might even say,
Incredible. I don't know what you told me to say.
That was it. That was it.
Oh,
Right on it. You got that shit. Give it up for Mr. Dave coming to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Violence never solves anything. But sometimes, to get results, you just want to punch something. Dad put a hole in the wall again. Mom covered it with silence and moved the piano. She always finds weird places to hang new paintings. She's gotten good at covering ugly with beautiful. I don't want to be like him. I want my violence to accomplish something constructive on purpose, with paper, on purpose. I want to punch holes into 3-ring binders instead of being part of this 3-ring circus. One day, we will make confetti, and it will sparkle like glitter, and the pain we drink will be champagne out of paper cups, when the only hearts that get cut here will be paper hearts, where they're the only thing left to be hung in this house. This house, and its paper-thin walls, its origami love, it's so tightly folded in on itself that it looks like something else. Here, Mom, I made you a flower. Here, Mom, I made you a crane. Here, Mom, I made you a heart. It doesn't beat, because the last thing this house needs is more beatings. Pa said, people, like paper, when pressed, will fold. And when the creases cease to be reassuring, it means they're molding you into something more. And I swore what we had was art, because I don't know if what we have is ugly or beautiful, but it stirs something deep inside me. And that's what art does, right? So I folded my heart just right. Instead of hole punching bodies, I struck out at the sheets in front of me. In pen strokes and broken words, in folded souls, and in the 8.5 by 11 years since I have been trapped in that origami box, I have destroyed countless sheets of paper. I have watched 1,000 cranes fly away. And the only wish that I made was that the words I put to paper would be honest and beautiful and holy. Thank you.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, from Mr. Dave, please put your hands together. So, for those of you who weren't there for Dave's feature about a month or so back, number one, forgive yourself because it was awesome. I think he gave us one of our best shows that we've had so far.
See?
Yeah. I would actually, no, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not like, it's magic. It's not recyclable.
You're incredible.
I am.
Incredible.
God, I miss coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to the stage, this next artist, you heard this woman earlier, but she herself actually also gave us one of the best features that we've ever had, and maybe she will again one day if we talk real nice to her and give her a little sip up and down.
A little more for Santa Claus, a little bit more for Santa Claus.
A lot of people were dancing that evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our very good friend Waneka coming to the stage.
Because this is impromptu and he's really nice to assist with this. So this is an old material, so I'm no longer sad, but when I wrote this I was a little down. This is something that happened where you're trying to reach your goal and everything is closing its doors at you and they're only telling you in order to achieve your goal you have to do it one way. And then you finally get upset and you're like, you know what do you want from me? So basically this is my mindset about not selling yourself out just because you want to achieve a goal. Just stick to your gut. It's always right. And it is a satire. Alright, it's called Life Poetry. Dear Miss Waneka, that's my name. We are writing you to formally thank you for applying. Unfortunately, at this time, you lack the height nor the color we need in order to advance you. Simply put, though you have what we consider great talents, there's no way we can endorse someone like you with your curves. Please let us know if you think someone like you could come in a size 2 and have less engraved personality so we can mold them into the product we need. Oh, do you not believe in perms? I know for a fact that countless of your people use it. You should try it. Perhaps if you wore less clothing during your performances, you might attract the attention we may need in order to sell your brand. Are you not comfortable with your sensuality? Maybe if you expressed a little more sincere sensual movements, you can get more people to see your shows. Oh, we did not find the need to read your essay about how much you value hard work. Because simply put, a girl like you simply has no chance of being represented by our brand. You lack the height, the color, or the size, the mainstream look that we need in order to sell you to the public. Please let us know when you can change or improve or eliminate your unwanted features. Then you can reapply with us next fall. At this time, you are probably the strongest talent we have applying this year, but you have nothing that we can use to sell you to the public. We love your work, but we are not in love with you. Please try again. Sincerely, Life. P.S. We threw you lemons, but please note, we do not hope you make lemonade. Thank you.
One more time for One Acre, ladies and gentlemen, please. Yeah, I think we very much. One more time.
I think he was doing that trying to piss you off.
I think he is. Okay. That, I can't. Totally felt that in my cochlea. Thank you very much.
Cochlea fever. Cochlea lives.
I don't know what that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for One Acre one more time, please. All right, so the open mic list is very much still open. If you have something to say, play, or do with the tradition of quote-unquote speaking your mind, we have the place, we have the air, we have the opportunity. So real quick, raise your hand if it's your first time here.
With the lime and the coconut, that's what I was thinking about.
So you drink that all up, and like I was saying, raise your hand one more time if it's your first time here. Okay, so what we love about our spot, did anyone raise his hand? He did.
It's his first time here too.
Cheeky devil. Ladies and gentlemen, what we love about our spot is that it's not our spot. From 7 to 10 on Sunday nights, from the moment you walked in here, you gave up the right to say that from 7 to 10 on Sunday, I got nowhere I can go, where I can just be, where I can exist, where I can just be whoever or whatever I am, whether or not I get on stage, I can just be here. Whether it's spoken or whether you're just one of the ones that heard it, this place is here for you. This is effectively what we have created for the past, and technically, I just realized that the last Sunday before Spoken and Heard is actually, the last Sunday before Thanksgiving is actually Spoken and Heard's birthday. So tonight we are...
This is the last Sunday before Thanksgiving.
So tonight we are actually officially 8 years old this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
We didn't bring any balloons.
We didn't. Uh-oh. I think that does need a dance. I think that needs See, this is a little bit of what you miss when she features, ladies and gentlemen. the running man. It was crazy because it was all about balance. Because if you were like one step off, you missed it. It was just like, you know, it was good cardio, but it didn't really catch on.
I don't know one dance. It's like, don't spill my beer.
Don't. So, bottom line, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
can fall on the floor and my glass would still be up.
Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, for 8 years, what we have worked to create is a nudist colony for the soul. That is by no means an invite to take off your clothes, but you get what we're saying. Like I said, if this... Oh my God. You just...
Who throws a shit?
Mike, I can't keep telling you, that's not President Bush.
Who throws a shoe? Seriously.
Remember when they threw a
Worst
shoe at him?
accent ever. Me. Alright, so we gotta...
Why do you do that? Why have you been doing that lately?
At least he didn't throw his panties up.
No. We digress! Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the next performer coming up to the stage. Give it up for Rob Miller!
Just gonna make sure I'm in tune.
So this is what's crazy. Ernie will sit and chill and not move a muscle just to push buttons. But as soon as somebody comes up with a guitar or some weird instrument or some battery-powered capo or something, he'll jump up like a one-man pit crew. And the artist is ready to go. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for Rob Miller.
What do you mean just push buttons? More to it, man. I drink too. It's hard to do.
Alright. This song is by Mischief Brew and it's about growing up. It's called Nomad's Revolt.
Turn
settling down. And out of the garden we multiply, telling our stories. May the old ways die.
Woo! Kill off Columbus!
Now, do you guys want to hear a sad original or a fun cover?
Other time around.
Alright. Song's about a friend of mine. It's called Maccabee. March 5th, 2009. Got a phone call from a friend of mine. She said, "Rob, get to the bench quickly. You need to be with your family." When I got there, all I saw were sad faces. With a cigarette lit, I saw Tyler pacing. And I felt it as my heart stopped. And again, when I read the writing on the wall, it said, "Rest in peace, good friend, good times. Maccabee, your name." Poor Maccabee, poor Maccabee, poor Maccabee. How could this be? How could this be? Those always they snowy. Call the cops before the hippies flee. Bash his head into a wall. Let me concuss and he took a fall into the bus tunnel that night. Forevermore we all knew fright. Underneath those red flashing lights. Poor Maccabee, how could this be? And the cops got away with their fun. Played it off like it was a hit and run. But if you think that the story is done, well, you miss out on the lesson. I'll scream 187 on those motherfucking caps. 187 on those motherfucking caps. 187 till our base stops. 187 for Maccabee, for Maccabee, for Maccabee. How could this be? How could this be?
Give it up one more time for Rob Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
So there's going to be a new Jurassic Park movie,
I saw like a little. This is my thing.
Jurassic World.
They saw a preview. It was a 20-second preview trailer for the trailer. They gave
A trailer?
and the universe unfolded on itself. In the year 2036, Facebook will create a feature where you will be able to like that someone else liked something that you said. At which point the universe will employ itself.
You can like a like.
That will happen at the same time that someone they will create sort of a wormhole, and then what'll happen is that some director with no ideas at all, go figure, got a shortage of those, will suddenly petition Paramount to do a remake of a movie that hadn't been created until 10 years after him being born. So like he'll be like it's 2036 and he'll want to do a remake for a movie in 2046. and the universe will implode on itself because there are no original ideas.
Well, see, it's begun already because
it's been done already.
Oh no, well, yeah, it's already beginning this whole center of the universe thing.
Yep.
And it's in Houston because there's a corner in Houston where I was walking down the street and there was a Starbucks on the corner, and I looked across the street and there was another Starbucks on the corner.
In the corner.
I was like, well, why? You know, was there a Starbucks there? And somebody said, I'd really like to open up my own Starbucks. I think I'll put one right across the street from the other Starbucks. Yeah, that's a great business.
They're actually going to build a sky bridge between any Starbuckses. Starbucksai is the plural. It's a new type of marshmallow they discovered in the Serengeti. Ladies and gentlemen, this next poet coming up to the stage is worth every ounce of crap that I give him for being a weirdo, for being a dork, and every worth the kudos I give him for being one of the best co-hosts and one of the best poets I know. Without any further ado, please give it up for my good friend, Mr. Lost in Thought.
Thank you, Joby. Aww. I know.
It evaporated.
It got wrapped up.
It got stolen. Hey, he got stolen. His kiss got stolen.
They took it to Hershey.
How do you lose a kiss? Wow.
You know, that almost sounds like the name of like some kind of like a was like pulp thriller. How do you lose a kiss?
So like if you get unkissed and you got a star kiss, would there be a tuna on your cheek?
Hello.
Star kiss?
I have a headache now.
Oh, I get a star kiss. Okay, so this is new shit. So I won't mention the name, but there's a gym where you can't just cancel. You have to go in person, and I think you even have to write a letter as to why.
You gotta be kidding.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna give them this letter, but this was my work in progress, maybe to them. My latest attempt in starting to come back here was not only an exercise in mind and body, but also to feed off of the energy of like-minded souls in the same vicinity, all wanting to shape something better. My goal was to start covering my own body through repetition, determination, and a relentlessness that pushes harder than I thought I could. I wanted to allow myself the opportunity to feel like I was working towards something without fear of judgment. And when I say judgment, I don't mean just mirrors, scales, or the shallow interpretation of excess fat. I also mean dredging with me deep, hurting, and scarring shadows from the past that predicted me to be the loner. The one person in the room that everyone questions why he even decided to show up, because no one really likes him anyway. I regret to say, I'm loved, that in that aspect, I have failed this place. I'm still working out. A lot at home, actually. I'm still pushing my body and slicing deep into the flap left in my skin, allowing those scars to heal and repair themselves as something closer to muscle slowly and day by day. Where I have failed is I've allowed this awkward creature conditioned to be and bringing with me places I shouldn't. Carrying with me these weighted chains that drag themselves across the ground and tending to the natural desperation that has become second nature to me by now. I've let it show through as nervous hellos and suspicious looks, wondering to myself who is judging me and who is thinking what of me now. This, unfortunately, has caused me the same curse that has followed many parts of my life as I feed open this self-fulfilling prophecy. People that look away when I walk towards them. As they walk past me, I feel a shudder of cold born out of fear and perhaps justifiable dislike. And I don't like feeling like this anymore. I would like to change. This time trying to make it more permanent. I'm taking out the time to be by myself as much as possible, but also avoiding situations, people, circumstances, and places that are hurtful to my goals and journey. I'm sorry to say that this place has now become a reminder of everything I've done wrong, and how some will do everything they can to ignore me, because first impressions are parts of a terrible beast that has thrown matches to so many bridges I've tried to cross. I'm rebuilding. And in order to do that, I have to start taking out the bad. Due to my own mistakes, missteps, and small moments that may not seem like much, but I still wish I could take back. This gym has now been transformed into that subtle nightmare that can haunt your deepest regrets. Even if only by a very few, I still have to face those that choose to put up sudden walls of paranoid defense. I want to start liking me a little more. I can't do that if I keep coming back to places where I'm ignored and made to feel like I should be avoided. So, this is my first step of many I'm starting to help me. This is my process to rebuild. Was it? Q&A session. Questions from the audience. You miss. Let's start with you.
Yeah, who cuts her hair?
Well, they do a lot of cuts, and they're just super.
Okay.
Did you really?
That's what you call a grenade joke. Like, tell the joke is. Oh, I get it.
It's like those jokes that you'd get like McDonald's Happy Meal, or those jokes that would come out like popsicle sticks, which reminds me this.
Do they still do that?
I think so.
I remember I used to go to Dairy Queen as a kid, and you get the dilly bar, and when you finish it, if you were lucky, you get one where you get a free dilly bar.
What's a dilly bar?
It's like a little ice cream thing covered in chocolate on a stick.
It's a dilly bar?
A dilly bar. That's what they were called, right? Yeah. And when you finish it, I think maybe they had the jokes on there, but sometimes they'd get a free dilly bar. And so we used to buy a shitload of them just to get a free one.
But that reminds me when those wooden popsicle sticks, people would suck the last bit of them, and that sound it makes when you suck in wood, like, oh my god, that's like nails and chalkboard to me. It's like, aha!
Sucking wood.
Don't do it.
He said it. I didn't.
Don't do it.
Well, I've been no stranger to that. Okay,
No.
so
Don't go there.
what? Hey.
Hey, before I leave, I just want to say thank you, everyone. High five, community. And thank you, everybody, for registering to vote who did.
Woohoo!
High five, community.
Bye.
Bye. Everyone say bye to Tammy.
Bye, Tammy. Don't take no wooden nickels. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Keep smiling.
That makes you think of the Old Spice guy. Okay, so returning to our stage. I haven't told him he's next, but he's always ready.
You never do.
I'm just starting
Well,
too
you,
late.
or you do, and you bring up the wrong person.
Yeah.
That's your routine.
You never know. It's like
But you don't know it's your routine. You just do it.
It's like game guess who, huh?
So your MO. There you go. That's a better word. Your MO. That's your MO.
Yes, it's my forensic file. Okay, so coming up next,
I like your glasses, by the way.
Yes, Maverick. He's actually is back to me watching Woody Harrelson. We have Tom Moon.
pray for you. I go to every Friday night to the Green Man coffee shop, and our Magic Jack's been once, but he didn't come back because the quiet little scene, not like this stream, where people just sit around a table and talk. And we got this invitation from this person who's having their birthday today, so I immediately go because I love being invited to absurd surrealism. Now this woman is 70, and the reason I share this story is because she has 5 children. She brought them up without education, homeschooled. One by one they came up to the microphone this afternoon after all of us had been entertained by a mariachi band and a margarita machine and a bouncy castle, the usual distracted dreams. And one by one her children stand up. It could be a roast, it could be a toast, but all of them say individual things. One said that I was embarrassed when I was 16, pulled over by the Williamson County Police, and I was out of my mind. He said, "You're stoned, boy. I'm gonna call your parents." And he says, "Please don't call my mama. My mama's tough." She is. They called at 2 o'clock. She says, "Throw him in jail." They said, "No. It's his first offense. We take him down to the station. He'll be released at 4 a.m. We'll have to ring him at 4 a.m. Come and get him." So she did. Now, of course, he was stoned out of his mind. Williamson police, they found that he was out of his mind and he had blue hair dye. He was there at the police lights when his mother arrived, and mother said, "Son, I'm going to let you go with them." He said, "Mom, don't hand me to Williamson police." And then he noticed something about the fact that he had blue dye in his hair. His mother had a baseball cap on. His mother was wild because she had the same blue hair, same blue dye. She didn't want the Williamson police to put her away, so she took her son. He stood up at the microphone and praised the simple fact that they were homeschooled like Andrew Stone. Homeschooled one by one. At one time they dug a hole in the backyard. This is all true. You can ask her after I finish the poem. Anyhow, they still have the sign where they had the children put their marks in the concrete. This woman's a pioneer. Her name is Carol Kent. And she lives around the corner from here where I go to the Green Man coffee shop. And all these things I discovered this afternoon when she was celebrating a 70th cycle around the sun. And all her children come up one by one. Now one of them is having a child. All of them will be single parents. She was. And she never had a trouble with anyone because she said, children said, "My mother never told me what to do or who to be. My mother was always interested in my choice and my destiny. She always made things easy as far as I can see, because I was who I really wanted to be, and she affirmed me." And there she is, Carol Kent, beaming in the love of her 5 children. She brought up with her own hands, and they educated themselves. They educated each other. It was peer group counseling. It was a beautiful thing to see. And all of them were so different and so diverse and so divergent. It was a show that this is the way things should be. No group uniformity, no. Every single one of you is part of an individual evolutionary path, and you shouldn't take any directions from anyone. Your spark, your art is different to every other part. I stayed there for hours thinking, how can this be that we can have diversity when people bring up people within their own family just to be who they really want to be, not just fitting in cogs to computer society. Now, one of her sons came up and said that things I didn't agree with my mother. When it was 1985, she bought a $2,000 Apple computer. $2,000, Mum! So he got all these spare parts and made his own computer machine, son. And then he got work at Apple because he was using his noggin. Yeah, mother was a wise woman. Leading by example. Not telling what to do or you should or you ought, but always by her bravery and example. There are 5 children in this town now who stood up and praised their mother. And we all stood up and applauded because every one of us can be brave like that if we allow each other to be free enough to stand up and say, I disagree. I want to be me.
Jack and Tom Moon. I had to think for a second. There's something in my eye. I got it.
It's a new fad.
Nice to see you, Andrew Stone.
Thank you.
It's a new fad to have a sty in your eye.
Andrew Stone.
As Gary Graves would say, it's good to be seen.
Yes. So, returning up to our stage. Bye, Rob Miller. Everyone say bye, Rob Miller.
Rob Miller's barbecue. Oh no, that's
That was perfect unison, by the way.
Yes. Everyone, what you said?
said Rob Miller's barbecue. But no, that's Bill Miller.
Coming up next, our very next book, returning to our stage, we have the one that always gets us thinking a little. We have Bonnie.
What?
Thinking a little. What did it sound like? The one that always gets us thinking a little.
Okay, that's better.
Bonnie, she thinks.
Lower the mic a little bit.
And I'm thinking.
Lower the mic.
Make us think.
Get off the mic. Lower the mic.
Mike, do the thing with the mic, Mike.
I know that I have more than this inside of me. She cannot be my whole life. But I will say, I'm profoundly thankful for this gift. This surface wound from a fine edge. From it, a clean line of bright red blood immediately springs to the surface, and I am able to write about it freely. It is a universal experience. Any reader will recognize it. Everyone will identify. Past wounds were too deep, too personal, too much of a dull ache, required too much explanation, although this paper cut will leave a scar.
I was made for loving me, baby.
That was Bonnie!
Yeah!
Gotta fill in some time, you know? See, well, there he goes again. You were made for loving me. I can't get enough of me, baby. Give me all your money, please.
Take it to the bridge.
That has to be the most street robbery ever, though. I just picture, like, you know, like those carolers that come up to your door, except it's like a stick up, you know, and it's like, and they're just like, you know, caroling. Bye, Roy. Everyone say bye to Roy.
Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving!
But it'd be like, you know, in fact, they can have cards, like, you know, when you open up, they speak and just say, you know, give us all your money. Give they look up.
Yeah, we get it. We don't want it. Was there a punchline?
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Really? Oh, hey! Awesome. Okay, so coming to our stage, who is this mystery person that is
The one and only.
the one and only, playing his guitar and looking looking cool.
Handsome.
I'm just building up this anticipation. Coming up next, we have Andrew Stone.
One and only. Gonna call home.
Right.
I gotta call my mom.
Gotta check the stocks.
Hi, Mom.
Mom, I don't know what's what has happened to your son. So I got this new toy. We're getting it out of
See,
Mom.
Mike is always screwing with the stands. Like he fidgets with them when he's talking, and that's what happens. See?
it's been mic'd, I'm sorry. Bad boy, bad boy.
Alright. I didn't know I was gonna play. I didn't have any real advance notice. We'll do this one. It's called Blossom. CDs available if you like. Whoa!
You want to do one more?
I'd love to do one more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay.
When you play my friend. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Good one.
Do the good one?
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
I was just saying. Sorry, so what are you trying to say?
Anything that's on your CD.
Huh?
You can just play anything that's on your CD. Yeah. That'll work.
Okay. What the hell's on my CD?
Yeah. Bring some of the dust over your head.
Screw it, we'll do this one.
Oh.
Tom Service.
Yeah.
Alright, do you want like another melodic one or like a rocker?
The one you do with the bass player. The one you do with the bass player. This one's hot.
This one's good now.
At one time, this was the official theme song for Kick Butt Coffee.
Yeah.
Because Thomas Goring liked this song, so on the YouTube videos back a few years ago, he used this riff in the background. And I haven't gotten a cent for it. But it's called Angels of Mercy, which is the first song on the CD. Sorry, Tom.
It's a good song.
Well, thank you.
from again?
It's a Journey song, Stolen Love.
I don't see what that has to do
Well,
with
see, you don't know the song.
But what does it do with
But I just go, Andrew Stone.
Because is it Stone in Love?
It's called Stone in Love.
Why is he Stone in Love?
You know, it's not funny when you have to do this much explanation for it, you know. It's like explaining a math problem. And he's, just go on.
Okay, so coming up next to our stage, we have the equally kick-ass and spiked Mr. Dave.
It's called ABCs. The alphabet is composed of 26 letters, with which we can express the sum total of all human existence by piecing together its parts. We build our words the same way we built our civilization, in tiny pieces, put together, meaningless by themselves, and only able to be understood when put together, like people. We are meaningless by ourselves. We are only able to be understood when we are put together. The language we learn as children shapes our society, shapes how we learn throughout our lives. Chinese and Japanese characters are shapes and symbols for images in a civilization built on visualization and literal symbolism. In stark contrast to us, the US, where we only think of the B. In America, B is a grade that is not an A. It is the letter of apology for failing your parents. B-E is better. More letters. To do is to be. Stay busy like a bee. B-E-E. Work tirelessly all the time. Get more letters. Make more honey. Work harder. Get more money. And then you'll be a happy, hard-working bee. Or maybe a better example is I. I, when capitalized, stretches out in 4 directions. When focused on capital, I get pulled in so many directions. When lowercase, I draw the line and get to the point. Now let me point out something to you that you might find surprising. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. How I wonder what you are, up above the world so high. W, X, Y, and Z, twinkle, twinkle, little star. And the alphabet song are the same melody. At first, I thought it insulting that as children we couldn't be trusted to remember 2 different songs, but now I see the purpose is to subconsciously instill that words can be the bridge to the beautiful chaos of the cosmos, to make a twinkling light out of the turmoil of distant suns, and in turn to learn how beautiful the creation of your words can be up close and personal. And personally, if I wrote poetry in China, my stage name would be Shu 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 Shu, which translates to poet eating stones in a lion's den. All 5 characters are different but sound the same, and as a humanoid who enjoys using homonyms to hone in on his craft, I have to ask, you an alpha dog who's going to place his alphabet on Alpha Centauri? I think you are. But if I'm wrong, you can just go and you can eat your alphabet soup and sing your alphabet song with all the other bees, and you can try to piece together a meaningful existence bit by bit and letter by letter, but please, 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 bees, don't make me spell it out for you.
Mr. Dave, everyone. So you know what that makes you think of, though?
Wait.
What?
One more time.
Boots and pants and 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 boots and pants.
I wish I had a way to shut off your mic sometimes.
It's called engineer's privileges.
But apparently you can do the same thing to me.
See, I don't have Deb's voice. I think that's the first time I call her Deb.
It's hot tamale.
It's hot tamale.
We're working. It's hot tamale.
We're keeping professional, people. Okay, so
bye.
Bye, everyone say bye.
Who was that?
I don't know.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
Huh?
She asked about the festival.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Hey, you got a question about
Is there going to be a Ferris wheel?
Huh?
She got a Ferris wheel or a blimp or something.
There's one. We should borrow.
Borrow.
The Ferris wheel that they have over there, and then once we're done borrowing,
just put it back where it was. I might be able to, I got a 1-ton van. I could probably pull that thing.
Yes, we can procure the deniable culpability.
Anyway, come on.
What?
We're gonna lift a Ferris wheel, man. Just borrow it.
Who is next? Okay, so coming up next to our stage, she's inspiring. She can dance, and she is featuring December 14th again.
Yes.
We have Nwaneka.
What happened there? What was that?
I don't know. It's supposed to be like a robotic entrance, but
Oh, okay.
it's all right. Guys, I just want to personally say that I enjoy coming here. It's so lax and everyone is so kind. So I'm going to share with you guys a little backdrop before I read this, okay? I think Jack has probably seen the poetry, but so this is the emotional state. I think you go, because it took me a while to really trust anyone, because I feel like I was just trying to get used to just being in Texas and just appreciating just that. So when it finally happened, it was with the wrong person, wrong. And I was so hurt by that. And I blame my parents because they shielded us for so long. No, I didn't blame them, but you're like, it's your fault you raised us so well. Because if I'm nice to people, they should be nice to me back, and they weren't. Okay, backdrop. If you're a Nigerian, you always have crazy parents. It's a given. They're crazy. And then when you grow up, you're crazy to them. So it's mutual respect. So what I'm about to tell you guys is, just picture it in your head. And my mom has a Nigerian accent. So it's always like, I don't know what you are doing. It always sounds like that every day. And then they have me, and I'm like non-traditional. And now they've embraced it. So I'm like, I'm gonna test her knowledge to see how much I can trust her. So I tell her about this, she knows I never tell her anything. And she's like, oh my goodness, my daughter is finally gonna be traditional. She's told me about this person she likes. And then she was super happy. And they were Nigerian, which made her even more happy because she guessed everyone. She even said Egypt or I don't know, somewhere from Spain. That's how much she's like, my daughter is not traditional. And within a week, I start to stress out because emotionally, I didn't think this was a necessary transition. I didn't even know this person long enough. Emotionally, it wasn't working out. So I'm stressing. My mom is witnessing this via text and just my life. And she's like, you get out of that right now, and it's not working. And I know my mom has grown up. Because in the past, she's like, it's probably you. You're never friendly to anyone. You hate all men. But immediately, she's like, get out of this emotional state because you're my daughter and this will never happen to you again. And this is a Nigerian. For her to say it, we've come full circle. Ask my dad if he wants me to get married. He's like, no, never. No one is going to treat my daughter like this. Okay, so this is the backdrop. I mean, it wasn't anything serious, so I'm just saying, it just verbally, women, you gotta take your cues. If they're stupid, you will know right away. Don't wait, you know? Do an 8-day rule. If they're still jerky or stupid towards even words, it's a no-go. And this is totally, I feel I'm in a safe zone. I can say all this, you know? I don't care.
We're videotaping
Yes.
actually.
Okay. All right. So, great. You take that. So anyway, that's the backdrop. I'm supposed to be kind, so people should be kind to me. It didn't work out. So that is the long story of what I'm about to write. And I'm not sad, so don't even worry. But when I wrote it, I was very distressed because there's a difference between being distressed and sad. And I confused both at this moment, and I thought I was sad. When I'm distressed, I lose sleep, which in turn makes me angry because it makes my days go longer. This is what was happening. And when I lose sleep, no one is happy. Not my mom, because she has to hear about it. Not relatives in Nigeria, because I'm waking them up like, are you sure this guy's a jerk? What's happening? All right. So anyway, welcome to Kick Butt. Everything happens here. And I'm Nigerian. Okay. This one is called Counting Days. You guys already know me, so. All right. She didn't know how to cure the hurt, so she invented counting days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on and so forth. In the beginning of her count, she folded and went back to feeling magical like the first time they met, and wondered why he had to treat her like leftovers. Always she was just his Wednesday chick. She knew she deserved better than that. She thought this and went back to day 1, day 2, day 3. She was sticking to this count till the wounds healed, and the pain became a distant memory. Day 4, day 5, day 6. She thought thoughts, but the thoughts were not strong enough to have her fold. She was never good enough and had to relax her judgment always around him. She no longer wanted to be called uptight, unfun, and all those names she'd heard before. But she could no longer stand the way he neglected her and made her feel small. Put other trashy people before her. He was always giving her his leftovers. Day 7, day 8, day 9. She was better than that short pass they had, and that is why there will never be another day 1. Thank you. Counting days. I'm okay. All right.
Always the excellent storyteller. That was Nwaneka.
View her performance here live in about 10 minutes. Will be uploaded and presented worldwide. And, to Nigeria. And her parents. And the Nigerian channel, the Nigerian network. In fact, we have it available on DVD already in the back.
That was quick.
Daniel, you got those ready? They printed them up already, so we're good.
And she's featuring December 14th.
Oh wow!
So bring that crazy back. All right.
It was funny. I think it was last year when it was like brutally hot. She was saying she's from Africa, and she was saying it's hot. You know it's hot in Texas when somebody from Africa is telling you it's hot. Like, damn, it is hot. Fucking hot.
How hot is it?
It's so hot.
A Nigerian complained.
A Nigerian was complaining about the heat. It's hot.
Yes, it's so hot, my skin melted. Okay, so coming up next.
Hey, did you notice how clean the freeway was today after all that rain?
Yeah.
It was nice and clean. I was like driving into that tonight. I was like, wow, hey, look at that. No oil stains. These things I noticed.
Yeah.
Oil stains?
Nice and clean. Mike.
What do you mean about oil stains? I need to know these things.
Not homeless stains, oil stains on the freeway.
I knew you said homeless stains. No, I said oil stains. What the hell is a homeless stain? Joe is a homeless stain.
That's what it sounded like you said.
No, who's next?
Who's next?
I don't know. I wonder what a homeless stain is. Okay, so coming up next, we have.
This is really south real bad.
We have We need some magic to rescue us. No better than Magic Jack.
Me again? Oh my God, I'm getting